On today's episode of the Real Recovery Podcast, episode number 86, we're reconnecting with a familiar and inspiring voice, Jonah W. Last week, we revisited Jonah's original story from June 2024, where he shared his journey of resilience, courage, and the transformative power of recovery. Today, Jonah returns to reflect on how far life has come in the year and 4 months since that first conversation, moving from hopelessness to stability, from fear to faith, and from surviving to thriving. Joined by guest host Colette and Peter, this episode dives deep into what long-term recovery looks like in real time, the daily routines, the growth, and the gratitude that come with living one day at a time.
Hey, this is Julie with the Real Recovery Podcast.
And this is Peter, and we need your help.
We really sincerely are looking for help. Peter and I have put a lot of time into this podcast, and when I wasn't working and going through a lot, this podcast really just saved me, keeping my mind busy. But producing it, paying for what we've paid for and the time has really, it's cost a lot of money. And in order to keep going for the next year, we will need some donations.
Yeah.
We've survived off how much, Peter?
It was just under $800, and that pretty much bought t-shirts and cards and for promotions and bracelets for promotions. But as far as our time and the services that we use, because it costs to post the podcast and there's software involved, there's a lot of costs.
Well, and we're on so many platforms as well.
Yeah.
We come to you on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all that is a publication cost as well.
Yeah. And so it comes to just over $1,000 per episode of combined time and services. And we do it because we love what we do and we love getting the message out. And we've heard feedback from you all who listen that how much you appreciate and love the show. And so we're just asking if you can make a donation. We have donation links everywhere on our website. You can go to donate.realrecoverypodcast.com. Even just $5, that's a cup of coffee at Starbucks. In fact, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And a monthly
$5 a month would be what, $60 a year?
Yeah, it doesn't take much, but it all adds up, and it would really give us a leg up on being able to continue putting out a weekly show for the future.
Yeah, and we have over 10,000 listeners. We're 32nd in Australia. I say that all the time because it overwhelms my brain that we're even international and that anybody can listen to us at any time for free. So if you could donate, we would really appreciate it. Put us on your giving list for Christmas.
Yeah, the holidays are coming, so it's giving season.
Yeah, we really do need that to be able to continue in 2026.
Definitely.
So we hope to hear from you.
Yeah.
Buy us a cup of coffee.
Please. All right. And thanks for listening. And now on to our episode.
Thanks again.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host. On this journey of healing and transformation, together with my co-host Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. That number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
of Recovery, Real Recovery.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. This is Peter, and I'm sans Julie this week because she's off this week. But I am so happy and pleased to welcome a board member a previous guest and a dear friend, Colette, as our guest host. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here.
Excited.
And this episode is really special because we get to revisit with someone who'd been on our show about a year and a half ago. The first podcast was June 24th. And I believe we recorded it at Another Chance. And I believe you were 10 months sober at that time. It was a very heartfelt and emotional story. And one of the things we always say when Julie and I talk about it is it made me happy for my shoelaces. If you haven't heard the story, the previous week, so the episode before this one, it'll be replayed. So go back and listen to that episode and then come back to listen to Jonah and his continuation of how he's progressed over this time. Welcome so much, Jonah, for coming back to the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, Jonah 2.0.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you in the seat over there. You and I have a history. We are what I call litter mates. We're within 6 months of each other's recovery. And so I watch you and I'm just amazed by like your grace and the man that you've grown up to be. Tell me what's been going on.
A lot has changed. Like from when you first met me, I couldn't even take care of myself. I couldn't keep a shelter bed. There was nothing I could do for myself. I was just completely hopeless. And then as I was getting sober, I was like worried that I would never get any better in life. And I would just always be stuck in this cycle of just, I don't know, like I was
despair.
Always yeah. And like I would never be comfortable or be okay. But I kept showing up and I kept doing the things. And it's crazy because like now, not only am I able to take care of myself and live in my own apartment, and I have to talk about Gizmo. I have my very first pet and I'm like taking care of and making sure that Gizmo is safe and stable and is in a good home.
His name is Gizmo.
Yeah, his name
is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why is it Gizmo?
Because he's got these big ears and he looks like him. He looks like Gizmo and he can be a gremlin, especially after midnight. But it's like such a vast difference of it's just become a way of life now. It's not just this crisis mode of trying to put out the fires and just be able to like take care of myself and learn how to grow up and be an adult, right? Like I'm fully self-supporting now. And I've been in this loving relationship for over 2 years and I'm sponsoring guys and it is going to get a little emotional. It doesn't like the gravity of the change of my life. It just blows my mind.
Right.
It blows my mind that from where I've come from and to know that I've come this far and to know that if I keep doing this program a day at a time, how far I could go. And there's someone in the meetings that they love to say this, that like they had no idea what this gig was going to be about. They just didn't know how to stop even when they wanted to. And I had no idea what I was signing up for. I just didn't know how to stop and I needed help. And I got so much more. And that's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we interviewed you at 10 months of sobriety. What has your journey been like from 10 months until today? What are some of your victories and some of the things that you've learned?
Yeah. 10 months was like March of last year. And a lot has changed. I'm feeling more comfortable in my skin. There's a lot more moments of peace. There's a lot more moments of serenity and joy. Now, granted, life is life. I'm not in a treatment setting anymore. I'm not living in a sober living anymore. I'm not getting all these services and support. Like I was able to just take care of my recovery around that time. I was even molding my job. I quit my first job with a 2-week notice on good terms for the first time in my life at that point in time.
I remember that job.
Yeah.
And I got a seasonal job at the Portland Nursery. And that was the year, soon after that, my partner and we created our first raised bed together and growing because I was falling in love with nature because I'd never seen even though it was always in front of my face, I've never seen all the flowers and the beauty in the world. And so like I got really into that. I ended up getting a seasonal job at Portland Nursery and like really learned a lot of that. And now I have my own plants and like having the raised bed and just like all that insight and like the joy of watching something grow has been phenomenal. And then somebody referred me to my current employer. I work for Whole Foods now, and I've been there for over a year. Started out as seasonal, extremely part-time, was very afraid of like, how am I going to take care of myself? And this is like the first job that not only have I not been asked to quit, be fired or written up and be there for more than a year and not be make team member of the month and get promoted to team trainer. And when I work in all these departments and people want me around, and it's like, people couldn't get rid of me fast enough. And then the 10 months, like when I was at 10 months, I was still just figuring, like trying to find my footing.
It's like a babe in the woods initially. But I believe at 10 months, though, you had a willingness to follow direction or follow suggestions, to have faith in some of the suggestions that you were given through Another Chance, through your community, people who were lifting you up.
Yeah.
That's what I know most about you, is that
I remember you describing that moment that a lot of us come to where you were just like, this is it. I'm at the bottom. Yeah. I can't continue. I need help. And that hit me very strongly when you talked about that.
I've discovered a lot about myself too, the ways that I show up and how to like just to live differently and have this different reaction to life. But I think what else I've discovered is that it wasn't the external circumstances that like got me into the rooms, because that was not something new. The homelessness, it was the hopelessness that saved my life. That gift, that hopelessness saved my life. And I'm actually really grateful for it, because it got so dark. As they say, the dark is before the dawn, right? Like when I woke up on June 28th of 2023, I had no idea that I was going to make it this far a day at a time. And it's, if my, whatever it is that's helping me get this many days, it can get me through one more day. Right. And at some point, like I had to stop fighting it, and I had to be willing. I had to stop believing in my own bright ideas, because I was putting myself through hell. And the least, even when you've had really tough conversations with me, Colette, that were uncomfortable in the moment and probably angered me, but I heard it, right? And it's like, I get to apply that to my life today, because no matter what people tell me now in recovery, it's not going to hurt me. Like the choices I was making, if I like follow that suggestion, it may not work, but it won't hurt me.
And the only time that I really I had those conversations with you because you mattered to me. You mattered to me from like the first day when you were at the treatment center saying, I don't know what to do over the weekend. Please help me.
When I got back out of, And that like first week, and I talk about this, Colette and I having the history of, we didn't even know each other. And I came out of the ER, and the next day I went to the IOP at Another Chance. And I was asking for a higher level of care. And I had first, my partner showed up with me at the hospital all day and was just like holding me in stillness and quiet, and just like that love that I felt. And then like somebody picking us up and that like barely knew me or him and letting us stay at his place and no judgment. And then going into there, all that love, and including yours, and like just carrying me through the weekend until I got help. Like that, like a lot of that, I don't think I'd be here without that. And then the conversations when I was in rehab, that's your disease talking, or acting like a person.
Those are the best conversations. We should have we should have audioed it.
But it's like hearing and absorbing and listening to people reflecting back at me. And because I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how to pay my bills. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know how to show up to work on time and be dependable and be reliable and even be a loving partner, right? Like I had that. That's been a learning and growing process because of the community that has surrounded me, that is teaching me how to live. I can't do this on my own. And because of that, like I have had stable employment, stable relationship, a stable home. I don't like life can be life, and there's these little fire bumps in the road, but there's not chaos and terror.
Nothing like it could have been or how it used to be. I understand that.
And my brain may want to think about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I have so much to give away, including my own self-respect and dignity that I've gained, and my own love and compassion for myself. Can I get to have compassion for the person that I was? We're talking about in the car. It's like, I don't have to be angry that I was an addict, or I don't have to be angry about all that. Like, I get to have compassion for the person that was hurting and just make peace with that and be able to keep growing and moving forward.
Because we were talking about at that time, you were just doing what you knew.
Yeah.
And doing what you had to do in order to get what you needed in order to survive. And to come from there to the man that you are today, it's almost like a complete 180, You just amaze me. Excuse me. And when you talk about your job, I remember, because you send me your gratitude list, which I really appreciate. And you're like, I got this award. How do I get this award? They gave me a commendation. How do I get it? Yes, young man, you get commendations. You get awards because you've worked hard and you continue to work hard. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where it's coming from. I just, maybe that hopelessness and that gift of desperation is still very strong. And I still get emotional. Like I can't even put into words how different it really all is, right? Like, this wasn't supposed to be my life. Like, I was somebody that like wanted to die. And I didn't want to stop anymore because I wanted to give up trying. I didn't get sober because I chose to get sober. I got sober, but like my date picked me, not me picking the date.
Right.
There was no plan. There was no hope. There was none of that. And like I said, it was like all that love that carried me, and then just become willing to say yes. And that wasn't like instant overnight. It was like day by day, more willingness to say yes. And I've got a life that I never, like, it's a small little life, and it's grown so much. It's grown so much.
I love your life.
Like, every Thursday, I get to go have pie at Loretta Jean's with my sponsee. And we've been doing it for almost a year now. And it's he was out on a trip. And so we didn't do that tonight, but like we almost without fail every weekend, I get to go have pie and do the step work. But I was that person that was like on the streets and I would see all these people enjoying their lives and I would be so angry at them because I wasn't that person. Now I'm just just an everyday person, just enjoying pie and coffee with a friend.
I love it. A person among people.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's insanely crazy to me because I didn't think this would be possible. I didn't think I was capable of getting this.
It's a big part of the desperation that I remember from my story, from just so desperate. Just tell me what to do. Please, I need a sponsor. I'm going to come to every meeting, even if I have to go put it in my earbuds while I'm shopping at Safeway to get some type of the voices of Alcoholics Anonymous in my ear as someone's at the bus stop smoking crack.
That gift of desperation gave me like the flip phone. So I couldn't like join Zoom meetings. I gave away my iPhone so that like I can keep myself safe from my addiction.
Can you give me a little more detail about that?
It's a part of the way that there's methods that like going online and finding ways to get loaded that like really, I don't know if I should go in that detail, but But I was like, I don't trust myself. So I gave myself a safety net and I got a flip phone so I couldn't join Zoom meetings. So when I got my first job, I like really limited working so I can attend either my home group every morning, which I'm still a member of, which I'm now an alt GSR for. And I just went to an area assembly and it was so beautiful.
In Seattle.
Wow. Yeah, in Seattle.
That's awesome.
It's an online meeting and the area is based in Area 72 in Seattle. And the district is. And so I got to watch all these people with different opinions and like opposing views, but like, be really respectful. And then everyone hold hands at the end and say this responsibility pledge because the most important thing is to carry the message. And it was like nothing but love at the end of it all, even when like they were like talking about the different motions and like why they should be or why they shouldn't be and just the respect that there was there. Like it was so awesome to be a part of that. And like I'm like thirsty for more of that. It's so like why not get back to the program that saved my life? And
why limit yourself?
Yeah. Why limit myself? There was a reason why I brought that up and I totally forgot my reason because I went off into a tangent. But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
So you made the commitment to go to a flip phone, and that lasted for...
It lasted for, I said it was only going to be 1 year. I got it in August, the 1st of September of 2023, somewhere in there. And then I got my first smartphone again in March of this year. So well over almost a year, about a year and a half almost. Yeah, that I had that. So it went longer. And that's another thing too about being in recovery is like when the moment, I'll know, like I get to know when the moment is right because I get to trust my inward self now. I'll be all that chaos that's I'm blocked off from. And it's like, I knew when the moment was right to move out of sober living, to move in my own place, when the moment was right to get a cat, when the moment was right to get a job and keep growing my life. My life got so big, I couldn't use the flip phone anymore. And now like I can go to work and still listen in on a Zoom meeting. I like, sometimes I'm not even paying attention, but knowing that it's there.
The voice of Alcoholics Anonymous in my ear.
Knowing that message of hope is there. Yeah.
And not getting away from the program. I found when I first got sober, I was living with my in-laws in their basement, didn't have a job. And over time, I got a job, got a place. But as those things became more and more bigger in my life, my sobriety time got smaller and smaller until I ended up relapsing because I didn't have the program in my life like I used to. And I found that today, what keeps me sober is I live in sobriety. So it used to be that I had my normie friends and I had my AA friends and I really pocketed everything. My work was pocketed in a different.
Right.
And now I am who and that was where I came to terms with honesty, that I needed full honesty. And the meeting I used to go to was very conservative and I didn't feel comfortable being my true self and being honest. And so finding the lunch bunch for me was, oh my gosh, I can be fully honest. I can be fully open and be myself. Right. And that honesty stretches out to people that I work with, people that I know, my friends. If they have a problem with sobriety, then they really weren't friends to begin with. Right. So just making it a lifestyle in a way, I think has really helped me keep in the program. And I love that that's what I'm hearing from you, that you worked your life around the fact that you had this sobriety that you needed to keep and the meetings and keep it in your life so strong.
Yeah. And it doesn't it's not eating up my entire day. I get to live life and do fun and enjoy my life. But it's because I am surrounded by a lot, like I only have 1 or 2 normie friends, but my life is surrounded by recovery. I'm in constant contact with people in recovery every day. I go to a meeting every single day and I don't do it because I feel obligated. There's people I see almost every single day and we don't hang out outside of meetings, except maybe at an event or something. But it's like they're a part of my life. We know each other and we're happy to see each other and we care about each other. And life has gotten so much easier and so much smoother. There's no like extreme dips or it's just not, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I'm like wording it correctly, but yeah, like being in recovery, like living in the program, being in the middle of the boat. This is what's working for me. Yeah. And
right. That's what we were talking about on the way here. Is it being we're not compartmentalizing like AA and my life or AA and whatever. It's who I am at my core now. Yeah. I'm an alcoholic in recovery and I identify as that. I know a lot of people think like after you've had a certain amount of time or whatever that you're recovered. I don't believe I'll ever be recovered.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. I don't think, because I do my morning routine every day. I read the literature. I read a daily reflections and I love that in your gratitude, you have the daily reflections. So I get to read it twice. Okay. Because it like drives to the point of I need to see things more than once, but the daily reflections and the big book and then do a bunch of I have my routine and I've been doing it every single day. And it's not an obligatory thing. It's just the way my life is now. And it's like, I enjoy doing it. I remember when my sponsor, between one of my couple of my intervals, like a while back in 2022, in 2022, and he was trying to get me to write. And I was so resistant. Like, he was like, just write something, just become willing to write something and to say yes. And he's, you can, I'm going to just say, he's like, you can write poop, but just write something and send me a picture of it. And I didn't write it. I would skip a lot of days, or like I would write it, but write it like, and then send it, not send it, or I would try to type it up. He said, I didn't tell you to type it up. I told you to write it. And it was somehow the lights came on this time.
I love that.
And it's like, this routine that I have is giving me everything that I do have. And I'm not willing, like, I couldn't imagine going home loaded to my new kitten. And because he didn't get attention just a couple of days, like last week, because I was gone all day, and you could tell that he was not engaging. He seemed sad and he wanted attention. And so I got to spend the next day with him completely, but I could have just imagined like pushing him aside, not taking care of him, not feeding him, because I was too busy. I would be too busy getting loaded. So I can't do that to my cat.
Right.
My partner would leave me. He would still be willing to be my friend, but he would have to leave me to protect his own recovery. And this is the stuff I would be giving away. I wouldn't have a home anymore because I would be kicked out. I'd be back on the streets.
It's like you play the whole tape all the way through.
And the worst part is I would hate being alive. I would want to be dead again. And I would just be like giving everything away. Like, I don't lose it. I give it away when I make that choice.
For me, when it was at the end, like death, and this is like, maybe, I don't know, trigger warning, but death would have been welcome.
Yeah.
Because where I was living was day in, day out, nonstop, constant hell.
Yeah.
Self-directed hell. And to come out on the other side of, yes, I will do that. Yes, I will be on the board for this podcast. Yes, I will sponsor you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will participate in my recovery. And I learned that from you.
I learned that from you too, though. When I came out of treatment, you got me to be, you encouraged me to be the secretary for extended family.
I remember that.
And, and you pull me to chair, or like you would sit, and then again, you would sit down and have those tough conversations, because in the beginning, it was a little rough in the beginning to work, to be around. But the beauty about this is like one of the people that like I was struggling with, that there was a lot of angst between us. He and I have nothing but respect and love and care for each other. And he's going to be getting 18 months on the 28th. And I'm excited to be there. I'll be a little bit late because of work, but I will be there because I want to celebrate him. And that thought would never have crossed my mind when we met 2 years ago. And then there's somebody else in the program. Like, we met when we were loaded, and it was like nothing but hatred. And like, it was pretty dark. And I actually got scared when I saw him come into the rooms. And there was a lot of resentment and a lot of anger and a lot of fear. And then now, like, he went skydiving with me to celebrate his 1 year and my 2 years. And like, we share our gratitudes. And I write out a prayer every day too. And I don't share that with everybody, but like, he shares me more intimate details. So I share with him more intimate details of what I write. And it's like, we have this bond now. And I look forward to seeing him. And because of this program, because of the work of this program. And that's like the greatest testament to this program. And it's like, I just am not willing to give that. Like, I know what's on the other side. And yes, and I know that talking about death might be a little bit of a trigger warning, but like, I was too afraid to do it, but I wanted it to happen. And I just like being stuck in that place it's kind of, like, it's so soul crushing. It breaks your spirit. It broke my spirit.
Yeah.
And you were talking about sponsoring people. Like, I love being a sponsor. I just love being a sponsor.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I remember you didn't know I was watching you, and you didn't know that I could hear you. And a kid came up, or some kind of scenario happened where you were giving your first instructions as a sponsor to this person. Like, you are already sponsoring a couple of guys, but this other person, he was giving I want you to do this, and here's your big book, and here's your journal, it's like a whole thing. Like, he does not come to play. He does not come to play.
That's awesome.
But the relationships I have with the people that, to my sponsees now over a year, My newest sponsee has 5 months, but the bonds that I have, like we have this group chat and there's just so much love and like connection, and it's such a bond. It's such a bond because the way we're walking shoulder to shoulder. And recovery happens when one alcoholic or one addict talks to another, and just like sitting down and like they're teaching me to grow, but to watch somebody come in. We were talking about that in the car, like to watch somebody come in and be this far along in my program now and watch somebody coming in and see their lights come on. It's like the bee's knees, the bee's head knees.
That's a very powerful time when you're watching someone come in. Yeah. I still can't remember the name of the guy that I was talking about. He couldn't say his name for a week, but he came every day, but he couldn't say his name from crying to say that he was an alcoholic.
It's amazing to see the transformation. It's amazing to see somebody completely broken and just completely in disarray and just miserable, and have this life build up around them, a fellowship and a community, and just see them like go from nothing to like this bright, like wonderful person that's a part of our community. And it's so much joy in my online home group. They ask for anybody in their first 90 days. So you hear someone go from day 1 all the way to day 90 every single day. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting to see someone's day count grow.
Julie swears she listened to me do my day count from day 1 when I called in from Safeway. And like she got invested in I'm like, okay. She'll tell me and every time, you were crazy. You were crazy. Now she's my best friend, aka wifey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what this program does.
What I wanted to talk a little bit about was how you came from knowing that this program works, seeing it modeled by other people in your life, as far as I can remember of your story. And then how it felt to still be doing that, knowing that there was, or trusting that there was a different way.
So if I think I know what you're talking about, part of my story is my first sobriety date was also in June. It was like Father's Day of June 2014. And I only went to treatment because I just didn't want to be on the streets anymore with an abusive drug dealing boyfriend. Right. And so that was my escape. But part of the programs that I was in, like the requirement was go to meetings. But I wasn't one of those that was skeptical of the people in the meetings, like instantly. And like, I wanted what they had. And then I started going to some really powerful meetings that were like really just, even when I would go out and come back, they were just like, welcome home. No, what are you going to do differently? None of this, like, why did that happen? And that's part of how like I would hope I'm showing up is, of course, like I was going to use, I'm an addict without a solution. I'm without a solution, untreated. And all I get to do is just say, welcome home. You're welcome and you're wanted and you're needed. And they don't say that to you on the streets. I'll tell you that. Like, right. Oh. But I remember one person in a meeting came up to me and just weeping for me. And she just was like, we love you. Just stay, stay. And I didn't stay. And I knew, so when I was out there using, little side note about this, I would be using with people talking about the big book.
I was hoping we'd get to this part. I tried to do the prompt right.
Because I knew there was a different solution. I would be on the streets experiencing homelessness, walking around with a big book in my backpack and wanting to come back and didn't know how to come back. And no, I was just so lost, but like I knew there was, and it made the using more miserable.
Because AA or NA or whatever.
Yeah. But it wasn't that fact that, it was the fact that I could have this full life too. And I wasn't having it. Like the only purpose of living for me was that next fix. And you would have been in the way. Like it would have been like, okay, like I might need a shower. So I'm going to play a sob story, manipulate you to get a shower so I can go be clean for the next person that's going to help me get high, right? Like it would just be this game that I would be playing of manipulation so that I could get the next fix. And I ended up taking my friend's car, telling him I was going to a meeting, and I got so desperate to get high. And when I made the amends, he's, I already knew that about you. I already knew you did that.
It's really amazing to look at, for me, how my relationships in my life was so transactional.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I do this, then you will. If you do that, then I will.
Yeah.
That's where I ended up at.
One of my favorite things to do it's I've been bringing flowers for my partner for his office. And I just, first it was for like his birthday, and then it became just because, and then I did it for my birthday. I brought him flowers just to see him have joy.
And it was a beautiful bouquet.
And and it's so much fun, just so not transactional, but just to do something because
for
you're
fun
just
and for free.
For fun and for free. And the beauty of that, like we were talking about that in the car, I think it was with you, or I had a doctor's appointment before that. I had 4 people cat sitting and house sitting for me when I went up to Seattle for the area assembly. And I just thought they would walk in, check in, and leave. No, they they babysat. They spent the night and they watched him. And they didn't do that because I asked them to. They just did that for fun and for free. And I'm so grateful for that. And then I ended up having to go to an urgent care situation yesterday. And somebody was like, I'll just hang out with you. I'll just wait with you. Without anything in return. And I love that. I love that. I just have this deep gratitude for these people. And I just get to be a participant in their lives, and I get to have them be a participant in my life. And we grow, we do things, we get to hang out, and it's not transactional. It's not, what can I get out of you? And that friend with the car, he's known me since 2012. And he said to me in the past couple of years, I don't know what to do with you anymore. Because now you call me and you ask me about how I'm doing.
They're waiting. They're like, eh.
Yeah. But he's like, and I found out that there's a couple of times he was going to walk away from my life. And because I was such chaos. And he's one of the most patient people, but he has noticed, you've changed because of how I respond to him. And I'm not asking him, help me all the time. I'm just calling him, how's it going?
You said at the beginning of the talk that you're living the 7th tradition.
Yeah.
Which is I'm fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. That's a miracle. For me, that's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
Because I always needed, this is an emergency. I just can't, can you please? And I'm not anymore.
And that is such a relief to not need maybe even... And it's so useful to have those resources. Right now, because of the progress in my life, I'm getting off of Medicaid and I'm going on to employer-sponsored insurance, and I'm navigating that, and it's so scary because I'm becoming a grown person now. And I get to take care of. That's the stuff I talk about is my 401k, with my employer, my health insurance.
Right.
And it's not only that, but I still am learning how to handle my finances. I'm not that strong with it. But my bills are always paid. And I get to still enjoy life.
And there's no feeling like that in the world to be fully self-supporting. If you need the resources, I did.
I need them too.
I needed them. Yeah. And I'm grateful for them. Yeah.
I couldn't have been able to do it without the resources, without an organization paying my rent for my first few months at my sober living, just so that I can focus on my recovery and my PHP programming. And then when that ran out, that's when I got my first job, and they were like, I couldn't pay all of the rent. And then the support of the sober living, saying, hey, you can pay some of it now, some of it later. And then just that slow progression of, okay, now I've waged out of using SNAP benefits. Now I'm waging out of Medicaid. And now it is rewarding. But they were so useful, and it was so necessary, because I wouldn't have been able to get up on my feet without the support of everybody and everything. Right. But it's a yes, and I am so grateful that I can. What a relief! I bring my rent check to my apartment, and I'm like, I just pay my rent in full on time. I've never been able to do that. 42 years of life, and it's taken me this long. It takes what it takes, but I lived like a feral human being that never grew up. And I got to grow up. I'm getting to grow up. And it's I get to make my bed in the morning. And then I come home to this nice, clean little apartment with a new, cute little kitten. And
Life is good.
Life of
is
Riley.
good. And then my bed is made, and like I crawl into this freshly made bed. And that beauty about my apartment, I'm going to talk about this too.
Okay.
Is I had nothing. I just had some clothes. And so many people came out of the woodwork. I have this, and it's not just like hand me down like crap. It's like I have a beautiful bed. And now I'm like buying artwork from people that do art, and I'm supporting my friends that do art, and I'm hanging their artwork on my walls. But like everything, somebody bought me a couple weeks worth of food. The bed like that I have, and the desk and the chair, the nice cozy reclining chair and it's not worn out. Like it's pretty new stuff. And all the dishes. Someone took me to IKEA and was like,
I remember you.
Yeah, someone took me to IKEA. So I think people were excited for me.
Yeah.
And my apartment represents the love and the care that people have for me. I go home and I get to see that every day.
What a blessing. Yeah.
And it was like I was the throwaway for so long. Nobody would trust me or give me anything. And like, it's so different. And I will say one more thing too that I mentioned to you in the car. I did have a sponsor. I just like this really touched my heart. I had a sponsor in Seattle, and the conversation led up to, I would love for you to be there for one of my annual anniversaries. And because she would love to be there too. And I was like, you put so much effort. I never stayed sober working with her. And I was like, you put so much effort into my recovery. And I want to celebrate you too being there. And she goes, it wasn't effort, it was love. So that's ultimately what's going on in my life. There's a lot of love and community and connection, and like, it still isn't old. It's still mind blowing that I'm getting up tomorrow morning sober.
And
going to bed sober.
It comes from you being who you are. Everything that I receive in my life, that is a blessing, that is a miracle. It's because of not saying I do it so that things good can happen to me. You get what you put out. And I'm usually not very consciously aware of that while I'm doing something. That just popped in my head. I don't know where I was going with that one.
Yeah, you get what you put out. And it's like you're not aware of like the energy that you're putting out. Because especially for me, I'm my own worst critic. Like I can talk myself down really easily, but the facts prove otherwise. I can't, the facts are undeniable.
Yeah.
People wouldn't be asking me to sponsor them if I didn't have something that they wanted. People wouldn't have given me gifted me all these things from my apartment. Somebody that found this litter of kittens on the side of the road
would not have thought of you.
Would not have thought of me having a cat. And it's a coworker of mine, and she is so grateful that Gizmo gets to be with me.
I can just imagine how spoiled this kitten's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My cat is spoiled, but I can't even imagine what Gizmo's going to be.
And also, I wouldn't have had David and I have been together for 2+ years, and it's only getting stronger, and we're only growing together more, and we're like being willing to like just love each other as we are, and like I work on myself. There's like me, and there's him, and there's our relationship. And that wouldn't be, if I was this narrative in my head, like this loser piece of shit, none of that would be there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a stable job. Like there's so much
What
evidence.
I love seeing about you and how you're growing is that you're meant to, for me, what I see is it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I feel. What matters is what I do. And I see that in you because our brains can be so mean to us. The thoughts that come up, Colette, you're nothing but a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And just insert expletive.
I'm good at future tripping. Mm-hmm. You're going to fail at this. This is going to go wrong. This is how this is. And stuff hasn't even happened or may not even happen.
Yeah.
But my mind is there and it's bringing me down. And so what I am able to do because of the program is use things like meditation and using the one day at a time. Sometimes it's 1 hour at a time because I'm nervous about an interview or whatever it might be. And then also the ruminating about the past, being able to put that behind, that remember, but don't dwell. And
right. Because in recovery, we say 1 day at a time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't also always necessarily mean your drug of choice or a drink.
No,
we practice these principles in all of our affairs.
I went through cancer this year and have a clean bill of health, thank goodness. But it was the principles of this program that got me through, calling people. And it wasn't about, I was worried about drinking. It was, I need someone to help me, to be there for me. And I need to take this 1 day at a time and not worry that, am I going to die from this? Or everything applied. I was like, this is beautiful. Thank God I'm in sobriety, right? And I had this to fall back on.
Somebody read out of the big book this morning in the meeting talking about similar something. I think it was one of the last stories in the big book, or if it not, the last story. And it's Alcoholics Anonymous doesn't teach me how to stop drinking. Alcoholics Anonymous teaches me how to stay sober, like work in sobriety, live in sobriety. And it's like, it is the principles. It's knowing how to live life a day at a time, because it's like, nothing will happen if I'm stuck in the past or freaking out about the future. And that could be really dangerous, and me not taking care of myself. And so just like focusing, do what I can do right in this moment.
That's my favorite story in the book. It's called How to Handle Sobriety.
I just read the excerpt.
Last,
so you know
it's the last story, and I read it every time I chair, because it did. Anybody can get sober and stay sober. People do it all day, every day. But to get sober and to change your life, to change, for me, to get sober, change my perspective, change my life around, change my thinking and my actions. That part is the dressing on the cake, or the frosting on the cake.
Icing on the cake.
Thank you, icing on the cake.
It's a
frosting works. Be patient with me, guys.
It's a design for living that, like, with all these tools, like, we can walk through anything and feel, I don't know, even through the turmoil of something, there's something that's centering and gives us some calm and peace. Okay, if I just focus on today and I get through today, and like I trust this and I trust that process. And it's like, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction with it, but like this design for living that we have, and the principles and like all this stuff that like we've been given,
right?
Like we can walk through any experience. And there's other people in the rooms that have had our experiences.
Right.
So we can grow, we can walk with it, with each other in it.
Yeah.
Any experience that I have, I can either use a step or a tradition to find a solution for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not forgetting.
Right.
Yeah.
Not forgetting the resource that's there. And that's how I came to terms with making my life all about sobriety, or incorporated. Yeah. That there's so many things in my life I wouldn't have been able to go through without what I've learned in the program. So I'm so grateful for that.
I applied for a position at my job at the beginning of this year, and I didn't get it. And I was devastated. But like, I was devastated and I was angry, and I was like, quit my job, and nobody here loves me and appreciates me or cares about me or thinks I'm a sucky employee. I might as well go get loaded. Then I applied for another position, and so that wore off eventually. Like, I was like ready to quit my job and walk out on my job. And then I applied for another position and I didn't get it. But the difference is I went to my supervisor and I was like, I'm going to take the day off to take care of myself, because I'm not feeling good about this. I wasn't angry that I was feeling a certain way, and I wasn't angry at the circumstances. It just was a blow. And then I was like, I'm going to give myself today, and then tomorrow I'll be okay. Because that doesn't mean that I am not capable of the job, or that there was just a different candidate. There was 2 strong candidates and they picked the other one. And then I applied for a third and I finally got it. It's like not giving up, but it's like in that moment of, you can see the difference in using the tools.
You have to honor your feelings and feel your feelings.
And
because that's what drugs and alcohol did, is numbed our feelings. Yeah. And something like that, that would hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
My feelings would be hurt.
Yeah.
I
went through a serious where I got laid off, and it was all unexpected. And it was during a difficult time at my job. And immediately my AA brain wanted to, like, I should just go by the liquor store and just
I'll
get out
show
of it.
them.
And I'll show them. And I instead went home, got my dog, took to our favorite park we like to go to, did the walk around. Halfway through, I got a phone call. We're sorry, this wasn't really supposed to happen. And everything worked itself out. Now, had I not taken that time and it gone right to the bottle, who knows where I'd be at. So
they say don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle.
Yeah.
That
and sometimes it's so hard because you're just feeling, come on already, give me a break.
I think for me, I feel it's insane that my brain will be thinking about getting loaded, but my body will walk myself to a meeting, or my phone will come out and I'll call somebody in recovery.
You'll get a text randomly from from someone in the program. Who needs you. It's
like my body, like it's my brain is saying one thing, but my body's saying stay sober, be in recovery, become a way of life. That's just what I know how to do. That's the new familiarity.
I said Jonah 2.0.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much for being so, again, vulnerable, open, honest, and giving us such a heartfelt update on where you're at. It'll truly help at least someone, and I'm sure many who listen to this show. So I really appreciate it.
I want to thank you too for allowing me to interview you. This is my very first interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Circumstances worked out that I was available and you were available. And you have no idea how much I appreciate that you're sitting on that chair.
I feel honored to be able to be a part of this podcast. So I'm really grateful.
We love you, Jonah.
We do. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Again, go back to the episode before this if you haven't heard the full story and listen to it. And I also want to thank Colette for doing such an awesome job. I know she was nervous, but nothing to be nervous about. You're just natural, natural. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. This is Peter with the Real Recovery Podcast.
And Colette with the Real Recovery Podcast.
And this is Jonah.
Thanks for listening.
Jonah.
Thanks.
That's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.